Welcome everyone to the first League of Legends game by the UTD Esports, broadcasted live to you. My name is Bones. I'll be your first caster for today.
I am Chewett. I will be your second caster for today.
And
oh, I was just gonna say, I don't know if you mentioned the team we're playing. UTD will be playing, was it Fisher Atteboro or was it Atteboro?
I think it was Atteboro.
Atteboro?
Surprisingly, yeah.
I think I saw Atteboro and I was thinking of David Attenborough, so I was a little confused.
Perfectly valid and perfectly fine. We're going to head into game one here. We have two games planned for today. There's going to be one against Fisher Atteboro, and then there's going to be one against Ontario. We'll go ahead and see how those games pan out, but right before we start off, we thought we might give you a little bit of check on the meta, see what champions are doing good, what might be bad, what maybe we're thinking about picking or banning in this first stage.
Or we might go through the UTD roster just in case any of you watched from last semester. There's a lot of changes. They think there's only one returning player, which is Mr. Yoojung Hookery Lee in the jungle. He is also still the highest ranked player on the team. He is Challenger, so you know he's pretty cool if you ever get to meet him. But we have Yoshiwi in the top lane, and then Yoojung Hookery Lee in the jungle. Russell Grindset in the mid lane, and then we have Potato Blaster, and I think it's Barrel. This guy has a lot of different account names, so I might get that wrong as support. But I've seen him as like Adversaries 1, and I think usually when people refer to this person, they use his real name, which I will not do. So.
Yeah, because doxing is bad, kids. Doxing is bad. We don't do that here. But yeah, so let's talk about a little bit about UTD's team and how they've evolved over the years. So this year's bot lane is relatively new. I'm pretty sure our AD carry is very young and very new to his career. So what do you think we're going to see from changes from last year?
I think... So last year, the biggest strength was definitely jungle mid. Those were definitely the two best players on the team, or the best performing players on the team. And a lot of it would be like mid would get a lead on its own, and then they would transfer that to usually bot lane. And I'm not exactly sure. I haven't seen any scrims of this year, so I'm excited to see how they play. So I'm assuming they, I don't know. Bot lane's pretty OP right now, so they'll probably just play till bot lane in terms of meta. So
yeah. Top lane is an island. Top laners, if you are listening to this broadcast, this is not a top laner strong side friendly broadcast. I apologize. But yeah, so going into today, we're expecting to see Kludgy with a chance of MF bullets. We're going to see a lot of misfortune being picked in these games, or even banned.
Probably banned.
Probably banned. Yeah, that Q change really buffed up MF stats, especially for her crit build. I think they transferred a bit too much power into her build, which is, you know, why she's so dominant in the meta. Obviously, Sivir being out of the meta after two consecutive patches of nerfs. I think she was good, like last patch, but then they like actually
they kind of obliterated her.
Yeah, which is slightly unfortunate, but it's okay. We do have Caitlyn, also one of the strong AD carries in the bot lane, so we might see that picked into the misfortune potentially. Also, Seraphine overperforming as usual in every single role that she is put into, mid, bot, and support. So likely going to see that maybe picked as a flex pick early on for these two teams.
Oh yeah, I would love to see some Seraphine flex picks. Anything flex pick is usually very, very good in competitive play, because it almost makes a champion uncounterable if you can just blind Seraphine and then they pick a bot laner into it, and then you're like, oh no, that Seraphine is mid lane. That is very broken. That is why Viego can no longer go into solo lanes.
Do you remember that? That was a time, honestly, when Viego could go into solo lanes. You would just B1 Viego, and like, what would you do? Like, he goes mid. Okay, he goes top. Okay, he goes jungle. And the problem is, with the amount of sustain he used to have, he had good matchups.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a weird time. Glad we're out of it.
Yeah, and he's still picked even as a jungler, because even when he was very terrible, it's just Viego is an insurance policy. If you get one kill in a fight and he gets a possess, you have a very good chance that you might win that fight. So Viego is very, very cool.
Very cool champion. Thank you, right, August. So another champion that has been popping up on the radar is Udyr. And very specifically, there's a very specific build that you have to go with Udyr. It's this weird combination of R and W max, where you don't put any points into Q until level 18, right? Because Udyr, as we all know, has 6 ability... Was it 6?
I think it should be... There's 4 abilities. Yeah, I think it's 6. I think you're right.
Yeah, so it's 6 ability like slots. Like, you can put 6 points into every single ability. And the point is, the game will force you to put points into Q at like level 17, level 18. But until then, you basically never use it. You put all your points into your R and your W, and you become this huge monstrosity of a moving Anivia ultimate, as well as, you know, huge shielding from your W. which doubles as like a better version of Lee Sin's W.
If you want, maybe it would be a good idea to explain Nudier's abilities, because he now has Awakening, and some people might not know what those are. So I don't know.
So at his base form, Udyr has 4 abilities, right? His Q, when activated, will empower his next 2 auto attacks with extra attack speed and extra AD. And when awakened, which is his passive, I'll explain in a bit, it does even more attack speed, and it does more isolated damage in terms of magic damage and it chains it around targets, similar to Volibear. For his W, it's the Turtle Stance. If you click W, you get a shield, and then the next 2 autos that you attack something with, you get HP back. And the Awaken W is like bigger shield, more heals, and you also get some passive sustain.
Yeah, it's a very, very big shield.
It's a huge shield. You know, I saw the shield once. I thought it was Stellaric's Gauge. It's horrible.
For sure. It's disgusting.
And then you have his E, which is obviously the callback to Ornn. One click, it'll give you decaying movement speed for a certain amount of time. The first instant of damage against a champion will proc a cooldown on which the champion is stunned, and then you can't stun them again for about 17 seconds.
Oh.
Okay, and then the last is an Anivia Ultimate, as we explained earlier, and the Awaken is just a better form of the Anivia Ultimate.
Yeah. So the Awaken is the new thing, but basically the new thing, because a lot of the abilities are fairly similar to how the stances were before, but looks like we're going to be getting into draft. We're currently waiting, but we could start talking about that. Fisher, I don't know, we could just call them FA. That seems very easy. FA does have the blue side pick, or the first pick. So what do you think we'll see there?
I think they're going to... I think obviously you have to rotate one of 3 champions, right? You go for Seraphine, you go for Udyr, you go for Misfortune. There's basically not a lot of leeway. You could also prioritize something like the Lulu, which is something that we've seen paired with a lot of marksmen that are popular in the meta, such as Twitch. You can even consider like a Craven. You can do Misfortune even with Lulu, and so maybe there's some priority on the support picks. We see the Sylas ban come out. Obviously, Sylas on this patch is slightly nerfed, but still extremely strong. We see the Hecarim. That is another champion that's been overtuned as of late.
Oh yeah, he recently got buffed, and Hecarim is a atrocity. He is very good when he's good.
And then obviously the Ornn ban. I don't know about the Ornn ban personally. I would have just.
I think it's more of a targeted ban. The top laner for UTD, Yoshui, does enjoy playing Ornn.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's it.
So the targeted ban, that's fine. Misfortune obviously banned out. You got to do it. Vayne also banned out.
Vayne is also, I think, a targeted ban towards Potato Blaster.
I see. Okay, so that's good insight. And then we have the Renekton. Renekton, obviously the really good pick. Okay, so first pick, Ahri, obviously
quickly picked as well.
Yeah, maybe they were planning this draft out. That's interesting. So B1 Ahri, right? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it makes sense if you just want like a very jack of all trades type mid laner. You know, Ahri can roam. Ahri has good pick potential. Decent team fighting. You get resets, so you can pick up kills on the back of team fights. Similar to how, like, you know, Viego, any champion with resets. So it's just a very safe pick. So that's probably why it's being picked here.
Okay, answered with the Kalista Taliyah. Well, maybe not. We'll answer with the Taliyah hovering Kalista. Taliyah is one of those picks that I think people like relatively like flex picking Taliyah because, you know, potentially she can go into mid and jungle, but I have yet to see a Taliyah jungle in pro play as of late.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm pretty sure both of these players can play Taliyah. I think Russell Grindset's a Taliyah enjoyer, if I remember correctly. I do not know too much about his champion pool, but Yujung Hukuri Lee can definitely play this champion.
Okay.
And then Kalista is a very strong pick if you compare it with a very good duo, and Potato Blaster is also very proficient at this champion.
Interesting. So we do see the Sivir hover. Oh, it is picked up. So they're thinking Sivir is still, the scaling on Sivir is still worth it versus Kalista.
Especially with the cat.
Especially with the cat. Yuumi being picked up obviously means that they're going to try and play for safe and scaling. Maybe they weak side the spotlight. Soraka. You know, I saw this being picked up in the G2 versus
the LEC finals.
The LEC finals. Yeah, Soraka Kalista was actually a very popular lane. And Soraka is obviously one of these counters to Yuumi because, you know, you have a lot of the healing. You can do exactly the same things that Yuumi does. And it's just a good pick overall, I think.
Yeah. There are some enchanters that are not very blind pickable, but when you pick something like Yuumi that, you know, isn't necessarily like the most dominant thing in lane. It's not like a Nautilus where you're going to be threatened to be dived super early into the game. You can pick something like Soraka in response to Yuumi, so you're both just going to scale up. And, you know, some people believe I mean, there's probably a debate which one scales better, but they both definitely scale very well, so they're both just going to pick very well scaling supports.
Yeah, and I think the important thing to notice here is that if UTD had picked an engage support like the Nautilus, like the Leona, right, Sivir naturally loves going into these champions because of her spell shield. So maybe the thought process here is that, okay, we kind of don't want to play into a Sivir, so what we'll do is we'll try and pick up the Soraka for some scaling, you know, try and see if we can beat out the Yuumi and healing some other way, right? Maybe not try to shut down the Yuumi, but just be a better Yuumi.
For sure, for sure. We're going to get into the second ban phase. So Viega will be banned away from the blue side, and then GP will be banned away from red side. I actually do not think Yoshiwi plays GP, so that's probably a good thing for us that that was banned.
And then the Graves ban, probably Lane Graves. Lane Graves has been pretty dominant, especially with the Q buffs. His wave clear is insane. Aatrox ban, obviously you need to ban that champion because Aatrox has been really overtuned over the past few patches. Very strong top laner, very blind pickable. Nocturne picked up here, and I'm honestly not sure if this is jungle or mid lane Nocturne.
I'd probably assume it would be jungle Nocturne.
Interesting.
Because I think it might be just like a Talia.
Oh, okay. So the Vi pickup will lock in that jungle pick, which means the Talia is going mid into the Ahri. Talia is like a very commonly seen mid lane, especially in leagues like the LPL and the LCK.
Yeah, two champions that have very good roam potential, two champions that can break open a game if they get ahead, and then they are very nice to pair with junglers that like to play very aggressively. So we have two of those here, Vi and Volibear, do love to gank, and we are going to get a Fiora.
Interesting. So I don't see a lot of Fioras, really.
Yeah.
I like the Fiora into the Vi just because of, like, you know, you can cancel out an entire interaction.
Fiora loves that. Fiora loves to do that. She loves to cancel interactions.
Rip post. What an amazing ability. Gnar gonna be hover here for a safe lane. Fiora is one of those known counters into Gnar, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it could be a champion pool thing where I think Fiora actually, I know Yoshiwi does like to play Fiora, so it could be they're picking Fiora away, and they're basically saying, so yeah, we don't think you have a great answer into Fiora, and we think that you're good enough at Fiora where we'll take it away.
Okay.
And so, you know, if you say that Gnar is not a great matchup into Fiora, I think that's a good call out from them to pick Fiora, and they're like, you're just going to pick Gnar, not something that's going to super counter this blind top laner. So I think that's a pretty cool call from blue side if that is the case.
Nice. Okay, so we will jump onto the Rift soon, but think about the draft, right? So let's take a look at what teams are trying to accomplish, right? So obviously for the side of Atteboro, they have scaling picks like the Yuumi, like the Sivir, like the Fiora. And so they picked up this early game jungler, Volibear, who is probably trying to facilitate those lanes, keep them safe. But I think the end goal is to get to like 25 minutes.
Yeah. I think we could definitely see a topside focused playstyle from Atteboro with a Volibear and a Talia could easily dive a Gnar.
Ahri.
Oh, sorry, Ahri. So Turley's on the other side. Yeah, Ahri, Volley, equally good at diving a top laner and getting Fiora ahead and then sort of playing through these side lane advantages. But, you know, if Ahri can get any sort of advantage, Volibear can get any sort of advantage, we could also see maybe that shifted to bot lane later on if Sivir, because if Sivir gets ahead, then this game is probably very, very hard to play for red side. And I think red side will play towards bot lane. So we might see sort of some split map stuff.
I agree. So I think you're right. I think the one thing to note is if Gnar gets behind against a Fiora, he's not really a champion.
Yeah, he's kind of a caster minion, unfortunately.
I mean, quite literally. You know, Gnar has one of the smallest base models in the game. I'm pretty sure it's like one of, if not the smallest base model.
He also does not have necessarily very good stats when he is in that form either. So
true. Yeah. So we'll see what goes on. I'm expecting so this Fiora, I have seen a few builds come out for Fiora, right? You obviously had the Divine Sunder build, you had the Trinity Force build. A really long time ago, there was this weird Essence Reaver build where you would go Gore Drinker. What do you think we'll see?
What do I think we'll see? I do not play too much top lane. I would assume Divine Sunder is probably not on the table. We don't have too much Bolt coming out. We're playing in more of an Enchanter meta. There's not... I mean, there definitely are like very bruisery picks, such Aatrox still around. Like people still pick Ornn, but I think Trinity Force I would definitely pick that over Divine Sunder. I don't know if this Fiora player has any fun, quirky builds they like to go for. But I feel like Trinity Force is probably the better of those two items in this situation for sure.
Yeah, especially considering that Trinity Force got a buff and Divine Sunder got a nerf, I think 1 or 2 patches ago. So that definitely does drive her towards a Trinity Force. As for Volibear, we'll probably see Chem Tank out of him. Talia and Ahri, you know, go the standard. Leandries for Talia and Everfrost for Ahri. And I think that's mainly accepted as what's best for those two champions. So moving into talking about, you know, win conditions, right? What do we think that UTD, which is red side, going to try to do in order to snowball their early advantages in the bot lane?
So when you pick Kalista as your AD carry, you're looking to get, you're looking to get land priority, you're looking to stack dragons, you're looking to build a natural sort of advantage out of Kalista's just naturally very good laning. And I think that's where we're going to see red side's resources focused towards, and they're probably just going to try to snowball any sort of advantages they can get there.
Okay, so we think weak side top laner is probably the call here, especially considering Gnar is such a safe pick in the top lane, especially considering how dominant Gnar is, especially in like the early few levels, especially in lane. So we'll see how that ends up going. Fiora obviously is a contender at level 1, but is melee. So we'll take a look at how that pans out. Meanwhile, what are we thinking as win cons for the blue side? I know we talked about scaling, but how are they going to get there?
I think blue side, there's like I think you have the insurance policy of Sivir Yumi to bail you out of either a very like long game, it could be like an even game into where Sivir gets her items, and then the game is very hard to team fight from because Sivir is going to naturally outscale Kalista, especially with a Yumi. And then I think there's also a win condition in playing for a Fiora side lane advantage. So I think both those are pretty viable.
Okay.
So I think you're kind of looking for, they're going to push their they have these nice champions that have a lot of I don't have a word for it. You have like Volibear and agency. Ahri and Volibear have a lot of agency early in the game, so they're going to try to look to get advantages probably top lane because Fiora is just a lot better early on into the game and will probably stack a better advantage than Sivir Yumi would, and then they're from an advantage there they'll try to get their Sivir to scale and then win team fights later on. So yeah, I think that's about.
Okay.
I think I said that not very well, but
no, I got it. I understood it, and not much up here. So there's also this really interesting question that you can ask yourself when it comes to specifically Yumi's build, which is, do you go Moonstone or Shurelya's? Because the argument here is Shurelya's would give you movement speed to kite away from the engage that is Gnar, that is Talia, that is Divide, right? It would give you movement speed, kind of kite away. Sivir would kind of be safe, especially with how much movement speed that she has built into her kit. But on the other side, there's the Moonstone, which gives you a lot of HP across your team. It buffs your healing and shielding. So the common argument is, does moving faster save you more HP, or does getting the HP save you more HP? Especially in the context of this particular game.
I think move speed to a point you could say maybe has diminishing returns, and you already have a lot of very fast champions. You have Sivir ult, you have Yumi already speeding you up, you have Ahri who's dashing around a lot, Fiora is pretty mobile, Volibear is very fast. So I would probably lean towards Moonstone just because you already have a lot of speed in your composition. So that would be my call, but I am not a Yumi expert. I have not had to make those decisions in game. I do not play support.
Because we play champions.
We play champions. We play the game.
We play the game. No offense to the Yumi mains out there, but I'm a bit salty. So we're probably going to see a more scaling-oriented team fight composition come out of blue side, and probably more of dragon stacking come out from red side, where they try to build up the advantage. Now there is this logical fallacy when it comes to like stacking dragons, and that is, do you roll a bad dragon, right? So especially in the context of this team comp, something like, maybe Infernal Soul is not as good on these champions, specifically because these champions are not ones to build a lot of damage, right? We'll look at Gnar, we look at Vi, they get their first item and then they transition to more a tank build. So maybe Infernal Soul is not the best soul for them, but the stats it gives is extremely good. Maybe another thing is Cloud Soul. You could consider that maybe something that they don't do as well on. So there is that variable up, which I think is maybe something to think about in the future.
Yeah, dragons. I mean, the thing about dragon stacking is, at the end of the day, it is just a good way to if you have a good early game team composition, it's just a good way to force fights. So, you know, Sivir Yumi can't scale infinitely if you have this impending soul that is going to be an advantage for the rest of the game. They have to fight you on a probably not favorable item spike or not favorable position, and then they'll just opt into a 5 for 0, and then you just blitz down their inhibs and their nexus and win the game. So that is like the good thing about dragon stacking. I guess even if it's like a Cloud Soul or an Infernal Soul, they probably will still contest. So I think dragon stacking usually works like fairly well, as long as you. But I mean, it could happen where like maybe the team fight's not necessarily won, but they give you the dragon, and then your advantage from the dragon doesn't always win you the game. But I always like dragon stacking as a strategy, just because it's a lot more exciting than scaling.
No, yeah. So you're one of those early game connoisseurs. You know, you like the early scrappy fights. You like the going for objectives kind of game.
Yeah. I mean, I played a lot of old Udyr in Season 10. I would love to farm and then flip the game at Scuttle Crab. And then, you know, stack my dragons and then win the game. So.
You know, that sounds a lot like C9 Blabber at 2021 Worlds. Sorry, C9 Crabber. Pick Udyr, flip the entire game on a crab, flash for it, and then, you know, not get it. It's okay, we still love Blabber. In the recent LCS broadcast, actually, Blabber was chanted to receive the MVP award. Unfortunately, Berserker, who went 23, 1, and 14, I believe, got it, which...
Oh no, that guy gapped FBI for sure. He is super good.
Super good.
We get to, there's an exciting. Sorry, this might be a little off topic, but there's an exciting. If you do care about professional esports, as in the World Championships for League of Legends, there is a exciting matchup between Guma and Berserker, because they were both on SKT, but Berserker was under Guma UC as the Academy ADC, and then LS sort of pulled him out of that system, and he's on Cloud9. So that is a cool matchup that will happen at Worlds.
That sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like there's going to be a huge banner, especially considering if you follow Berserker on Twitter, he is known for trash-talking his opponents, especially on the LCS interview. He was like, LCS is boring, let's go Worlds. So I'm excited to see what this youngster can do. Especially
if he gets one over Guma, you know, like gets a win off of him, that's really exciting, because Guma is often hailed as one of the best ADCs in the world. Often people have definitely said best. I've definitely heard that before.
Yeah.
You can have that argument, but that would be really exciting for Berserker to, you know,
jumpstart his career, make a name for himself.
Not only would NA win, but, you know, there's also an interesting narrative there. So.
Interesting there. Yeah, you know what? NA actually winning against a Korean team. Who would have thought?
2018 Worlds 3-0 to Freak of Freaks. We don't talk about what happened next.
We don't talk. No, 2018 Worlds. We don't talk about that. Or 2020 either. I don't think we got out. I think we went 06 in groups. Well, moving on. NA's disasters at Worlds. We're going to jump into the game in just a bit. Make sure you grab your popcorn, your water, your family. Tell your grandma, tell your cousins, tell your uncles. UTD, League of Legends, is playing today for the first time on the live broadcast, and we want you and everyone you know to be there for it. So make sure you get yourself ready for this banger of a game where we're going to see them come out with flying colors.
Yeah, I'm very excited. A lot of new players here on the Rift. I think did we talk about it earlier? Just the amount of that UTD's team is almost completely new.
I think we did, but we can go into that a little bit. I think the support, I believe, was the Academy support, right? He was the Academy support for UTD.
No, the AD carry played on the Academy or the club team for UTD last year. So that's Potato Blaster, and then. The mid laner is completely new, and the top laner he's gone to UTD for a little bit, but you know, some people around, you know, the League of Legends scene at UTD were kind of like, you should try out for the esports team. You are really good, and here he is, because he is that good. He's good enough to be on the esports team, but people just had to, you know, push him into actually trying out. So here he is. So that's exciting.
So is that peer pressure?
Is that peer pressure? No, I think that is just good guidance from your friends.
Good guidance from your friends. Okay, as we do jump on to the Rift here, Fisher Atteboro versus UT Dallas. It's a best of one. Let's jump on to the Rift, get this game going. I'm Bones. This is
Chewett,
and we're here to break it down for you. Make sure it's an enjoyable experience.
Okay. I think we are going to go to break here.
it looks like there was some miscommunication on the back end of things when it comes to the game. So don't worry, we will be right back. We're just gonna head into a break. We'll see you right after. This is your time to get your grandma.
Building a fortress, and we thought it was stronger, keeping your distance. I thought we were better. We can try to just hide from the pain by building our castle. We can build them again and again, and we can feel nothing. And I know that you feel it alone, and we can do better. So help me to break through the stone. Help me to break through.
Indeed back from our break, and I am the bearer of bad news. Our beloved Riot Games has made the executive decision not to patch their client, so spectate is broken.
Yeah, the spectator is not working. We will try again to spectate the next game. It could just be like the game has a problem right now, but it is likely that the spectator is just broken, so we might not be able to bring you any games at all. But we will try to come back in 30 minutes to an hour to try to bring you the second game, but that is not guaranteed to work.
So if you did bring your grandma, tell her I'm sorry. And we do apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused you or anyone else around you. And we will definitely try and bring you game 2, but until then, sit tight, munch on the popcorn you brought, and we will bring you your broadcast after this break.
By building our castle, we can build them again and again, and we can feel nothing. And I know that you feel it alone, and we can do better. So help me to break through the stone. Help me to break through.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Some days so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. I wanna taste your content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption, breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Just wanna be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Count 'em like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
You light up my world in ways I can't explain. Your electricity's running through my veins. Oh, baby, I can't help it. I've never felt like this. Only you can do what you do. Only you give me that deja vu. Only you. Before you found me, I was floating among the stars. No direction till I landed in your arms. Destiny makes sense when I look in your eyes. A new force of nature that brings me to life. Oh, baby, I can't help it. I've never felt like this. Only you can do what you do. Only you give me that deja vu. Only you. Your lips are stained with fiction. You always have your reasons, and I spoil you rotten. Your hands are sealed in pockets. You fill them with your secrets. To you, I am nothing. I am. Your kiss, sweet like poison. You know you make me reckless. I'll run, but you are friction. Your touch feels like heaven. You make me hate all my sins. You are my religion. My religion. I have a million reasons to leave you, but I have a billion reasons to keep you.
Welcome back. We promised we would be back on the broadcast, and here we are. My name is Bones.
I'm Chewett.
And we are here to deliver news that UTD indeed went 1-0 against Fisher Atteboro. So rep UTD, let's go. Huge dub for the boys. Off of the match history, which we were able to gather, we saw a team gap.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a team gap. It looked like Sivir might have had a bad time. I think she was like 1-9.
Yeah, you know, it's okay. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes we all have bad games, guys.
Which it kind of looks like what we like roughly said. Obviously, we didn't see the game, but it kind of looks like they played around Kalista Soraka just being a better early lane than Sivir Yumi.
Yeah, and so Talia got snowballed really far ahead. So did Kalista. Obviously, the boys in the top side of the map pulled their part as well and made sure that the plays did
I'm sure
happen.
Vi was a very big part in getting bot lane ahead.
Yes, yes, definitely. The ganking power that the champion has did indeed help a lot. Some notable things that we may discuss about the gameplay. Talia ran Ultimate Spellbook. That's something I haven't seen. Not Ultimate Spellbook, just Spellbook, right? Yeah, Ultimate Spellbook is a game mode. Talia did run the Spellbook into an electrocuted lane, so good job on Gruntle to manage to pick up the victory in lane, which was really good by him. Yeah. I think overall, very successful game one for the side of UTD League of Legends Esports. Not a great day for Riot Games client or for us, but you know, it happens sometimes.
We are praying that this works for the second game. We are able to spectate other games. Hopefully it's not just a custom game issue.
Yeah, because if it is a custom game issue, unfortunately, it does look like we might not be able to bring you game 2, which would be slightly unfortunate. We really want to bring you game 2. We really want to commentate, bring the energy. But keep in mind that may or may not happen. So we'll keep you posted on that. Right now, the games are still going on. So the other team is probably not very much ready for their game, and our team is taking a much-needed break. So with that being said, we will come off the broadcast in a few minutes once the teams are ready to play. And we'll go ahead and give you the game that you guys signed up here for.
Yeah, and in the meantime, until those are ready, we will probably go to a break, right?
Yeah, we will go to break in the meantime. So thank you guys all for tuning in. Again, we appreciate that you stuck around, but stick around for the next game where we play Ontario, UTD Comics versus the Ontario, and they have a nice mascot, Blue Dog.
Yeah, and they're from Canada. That's pretty cool.
They're from Canada?
Oh yeah, Ontario is.
Oh wait, you're right. We're playing against Canadians. You know?
And this is like Ontario, Missouri or something. I don't know if it's like a town somewhere. It's probably Ontario, Canada.
It's probably Ontario, Canada. Wait, but it's really weird because I've seen like stuff like Georgia. Like Georgia's a state, right?
Yes.
Georgia's like a state, but also it's a country. Do you know how trippy that is? It's weird because when
let's go to break.
Let's go to break.
We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. It's an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say later, my aim moving small. Money grows from my intuition. I just bought a crib, that's my first edition. People hate it when you claim a vision, but I use a static when I hit ignition. Hungry moves, I'm faster in a minute. I stay fresh to death, I'm in a mint condition. Forge a heat, no matter where I've been, and give me any place and it'll be a kitchen. This how we flow to the top. I'm on a wave and it never gon' stop. I hit a 3, now we running the clock. 24 seconds, I still block your shot. I'm making this an eternal spot. Permanent stain in the flow, ink blot. Don't step to me when I get too hot. I'ma end your life and it's all you got. We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. It's an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say later, my aim moving small. Homemade flow, I'm a PVC. There ain't one player out doing this like me. Heart rate froze, check the EKG. I hate wasting time, no eventually. Routine work when nobody see it, but I ain't feel the stress, I know it's meant to be. 30 beats, I'm on a killing spree. I made every song in my discography. Yeah, that's every cent, every dollar. I ain't tryna listen to a broke scholar. Making moves to make the money taller. To the cash topping on the Eiffel Tower. Labels calling, I won't wear the collar. With my own drive, I can take it farther. Do it myself, don't ever bother. Been self-made now, shout out to my father. We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. It's an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say later, my aim moving small.
Running round like dollars in the wind, bending over backwards just to let you in. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. Yeah, I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the putting in the
We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. This an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say, fuck 'em, I ain't moving small. Bitch, money grows from my intuition. I just bought a crib, that's my first edition. People hate it when you claim a vision, but I use a static when I hit ignition. Hungry moves, I'm faster in a minute. I stay fresh as fuck, I'm in a mint condition. Forge a heat, no matter where I've been, and give me any place, and it'll be a kitchen. This how we flow to the top. I'm on a wave and it never gon' stop. I hit a 3, now we running the clock. 24 seconds, I still block your shot. I'm making this an eternal spot. Permanent stain in the flow, ink blot. Don't step to me when I get too hot. I'ma end your life and it's all you got. We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. This an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say, fuck 'em, I ain't moving small. Bitch, homemade flow, I'm a PVC. There ain't one motherfucker doing shit like me. Heart rate froze, check the EKG. I hate wasting time, fuck eventually. Routine work when nobody see, but I ain't feel the stress, I know it's meant to be. 30 beats, I'm on a killing spree. I made every song in my discography. Yeah, that's every cent, every dollar. I ain't tryna listen to a broke scholar. Make a move to make the money taller. To the shit topping on the Eiffel Tower. Labels calling, I won't wear their collar. With my own drive, I can take it farther. Do it myself, don't fucking bother. Been self-made now, shout out to my father. We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. This an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say, fuck 'em, I ain't moving small, bitch.
Your skin for so long. Oh, I am in your head, so tell me, is it wrong? Oh, you fell under my spell, so well, so well. Oh, you fell under my spell, so well, so well. You fell under my spell now, my spell, my spell, my spell. You fell under my spell now, my spell, my spell, my spell, my spell, my spell, my spell. You fell under my spell now, my spell, my spell, my spell, my spell. You fell under my spell. You fell under my You fell under my spell now. You fell under my spell, my spell. What I feel inside, I know is right. What I can and I hide might steal my life. My spell, my spell. You fell under my spell now. My spell, my spell. You fell under my spell now. My spell, my spell.
Oh, okay. Okay, welcome back to our second game of the night, which will hopefully be the first game we actually get to stream. So looking forward to that. And I think we're going to quickly get into draft here. So
Yeah, so same thoughts as always. Quick tip, I was informed by production that Ontario Tech Royale is indeed in Ontario, Canada, so yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense.
It does make sense, right?
It does make sense.
Okay, so we'll head into draft now, please. Thank you. So let's go ahead and see picks and bans. We're waiting on the teams to go ahead and start drafting, but do you think maybe that UTD will have different prios now that they're on blue side?
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the first pick is. I would love to see a first pick MF, so somebody can demonstrate how broken this champion is, and hopefully it will get nerfed. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see like an Azir blind with just how I've heard Russell's champion pool is. But honestly, I'm not exactly sure what they'll go for blue side. I don't really know this team super well. Yeah. You know, maybe we'll see like a Hecarim or something if that doesn't get banned. That would be exciting.
I just want to see one broken champion. Just like one. You know, that's all I ask for. It's not a lot. I think it's doable.
Yeah.
But as we do start to load on here, what do we think is not going to get picked?
What I think is not going to get picked?
Like, what's like one pick that you would never dream of seeing in this draft?
You know, after that last game, I'm thinking we might not. Actually, this is a different team, so maybe I still have hopes that Udyr will show up.
Me too.
But not exactly sure if that's in the cards. A champion I don't think will get picked. I don't think we will see any Gangplank.
Really?
Yeah, no. I feel like most. Actually, I don't know. I am a personal GP hater.
Oh, you're a GP hater.
I'm a GP hater. I know all those LS lovers.
Oh, okay.
They watch LS and they're like, GP is Z tier champion, broken. But I swear I see this champion get picked and then they miss all their barrels and then.
Yeah, I mean, if you're good at GP, maybe, but like if you're not...
if you're good at GP thing is just never seen this pan out. Except for like, I don't know. I've seen there's definitely good GPs. Like.
Yeah.
But.
No, that makes sense. Personally, something that I don't think we will be seeing, but I want to see is like Ashe support. Have you ever played with Ashe support?
Oh yeah, it's fun.
It is so much fun. Oh my god! But I don't think it'll get picked, unfortunately. Too many counters, too many people know how to play against it. Also, I don't think we have Rat IRL on the team, so there's that.
Yeah. I want to see. I don't think we'll see Camille, but I'd like to see Camille, especially if somehow Aatrox gets left open, which I doubt will happen. But
is Aatrox Camille favorable for Camille?
I think it's a decent matchup because Aatrox right now I don't think has any super good answers. Like, you know, you could pick like Ornn and then just like forfeit the early game and then like hope that, you know, Aatrox doesn't have like 3 items at 20 minutes and then you Ornn him. But yeah, there's not like a lot of like super good lane. At least that maybe Yoshiwi plays. I remember him talking about this where he doesn't have super good Aatrox answers. But you know, I would love to see some Camille. That would be crazy.
Camille would be crazy. Okay, we come out with the Irelia ban. Interesting. Irelia is one of those champions that you have to play very well in order to pick it in a competitive environment, I think.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is definitely a targeted ban. This is not a meta thing at all.
Agreed. And then obviously the Hecarim ban comes through. You have to ban Hecarim. The changes are, like, they added a lot of damage onto his Q, especially the way it stacks. So Hecarim just does way too much damage than he needs. Udyr ban, interesting.
Oh.
Unfortunate. Janna ban on UTD signals they want to maybe play for an engage lane. Janna is typically one of those enchanters that you would pair with a very safe ADC, and then you would just roam after a bit. So I'm thinking they might want to pick something like the Nautilus, something like the Leona.
Yeah, it could be a targeted ban. Maybe their support is like a D1 Janna one trick. You never know.
Honestly, I wouldn't
be surprised if that was the case.
Yeah. Have you seen the number of D1 Janna one tricks there are?
No, but I'd assume that they exceed the amount of Bard one tricks in D1.
True. True. Okay, so we see the Graves ban. Obviously, Graves on this patch is really buffed. That's what I meant to say. Misfortune.
Oh, Misfortune gets. I was gonna say with Red Side's bans when they banned Udyr Hecarim.
Yeah.
That either they were gonna leave Callista or MF open, and it looks like they banned Talia and just left both of them open.
That's interesting.
So maybe they have an idea of what they want to play into MF.
It looks like they're hovering the Draven. I always think that Draven is like a pretty good answer into MF. MF is known as this lane bully. Twitch, I don't like as much, but it can work with the right support.
If you get the right support and Twitch can sort of get through some of the early laning phase where he has a bit of hiccups, he's definitely a strong team fighter. And then like there's also just really good Twitch players. Like Twitch Lulu is a pretty good lane.
Yeah.
And they seem to be confident in this pick. Like maybe they left MF open with this bot lane matchup in mind. I would personally not do that just because this MF champion is a bit ridiculous. But
yeah, and I think they're going to pair an Enchanter with this particular MF because I don't like picking engage supports into Lulu especially. It's just not a fun time.
yeah, ever since this May month came around, I haven't really liked picking engage supports.
And looks like UTD is going to pick up the Soraka once again. Maybe. They're hovering it. Looks like UTD really likes this champion. Blitzcrank.
That is an engaged support I feel like you could play here, actually.
Yeah, because, I mean, the whole point of this Blitzcrank lane is you want to make it so that the lane isn't safe, right? And so he's the type of support to bring them in, which means that they have much higher chances of actually killing people who they get onto. And so...
Looks like they're going to pair it with the Ahri, a good, strong roaming support. Sorry, I cannot think of words there. A good, strong roaming support that you want to help get this bot lane ahead. I'm assuming... Yeah, they're going to lock in Ahri here, and then we'll probably get a more aggro jungler on R4, R5.
Okay.
But I'm interested to see what that ends up being, because there are 2 red side bans that will probably narrow that pool down.
Yeah. I'm thinking here for red side, I think they should just like match mid and then hope for counter pick on top.
You can
lane.
match mid. Zed would be a crazy pick here.
That is something that I have not seen many patches. He used to be really strong, and it does get locked in.
Zed, always a strong solo queue champion. You know, before they added in like the Kianas of the world, he used to be one of the more mechanically complex champions. You see Zed like triple shurikens, you're like, that's crazy. Sometimes he gets a little overshadowed by like some of the newer champions in the game.
Yeah.
But you know,
Still classic.
there's still crazy Zed players out there that get crazy high elo, and if you can play Zed, you can make it work in lane.
I agree. And especially into this Ahri, it's one of his like better matchups. You know, you turtle until level 3, kind of give up CS, and then you start trading really heavily, picking up that electrocute procs. So good decision there. So far this draft is really interesting, right? We see the Blitzcrank on the side of UTD, and then we see the Zed. These are 2 picks that you don't necessarily see often in a competitive environment, which I think is really cool of them. Rek'Sai ban comes out. Obviously, we're going to start targeting junglers now.
Yeah, Rek'Sai, Jarvan, 2 early game junglers. Looks like they're going to get banned out here. There's still the Volibear up, which is Volibear, and then there's the Vi that was picked the game before. I think seeing either of those, R4, R5, would be pretty standard.
And then maybe pick up a tank in the top lane, after which their team comp is like nicely rounded out for UTD.
Yeah, probably maybe a Gnar again. They
maybe
seem
Gnar.
pretty confident in picking Gnar. Gnar's a good blind pick here, so...
I would tend to agree, actually. I think saving jungle counter pick is like a very good option. Gnar pick means that you can go like kind of either way with it, because he does build a Black Cleaver. You can facilitate AD damage. Lilia ban comes out, which means that they are going to be forced into... Well, so that's interesting, because Lilia is the AP jungler. Lilia is the AP threat that Ontario State would be, like, you know, sorely needing right now. There's not a lot of other AP junglers in the meta right now. So I think it is a very wise ban. The Vi does come out. Good, solid jungler. Sejuani comes out.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I don't know if that's Sejuani probably top.
It's probably... It's probably... I don't know. It could go either way. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if... UTD plays Sejuani top. I'm sure it's not that incredibly difficult, but...
Are you? Oh, the
Rammus
Rammus.
hover.
Oh, this is a good pick, because obviously there's already 3 picks of AD for the side of OTSU, and if it does get picked up, Rammus finds a lot of
it's just
value.
gonna be Lee Sin.
It's gonna be Lee Sin.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, Lee Sin's one of those.
I'm a little bit less excited, but Lee Sin is still very cool.
Lee Sin's still very.
Yeah, his name is Yujung Hukiri Lee, which I believe is in relation to him enjoying playing this champion.
Interesting. Okay. And then obviously we have the wholesome top laner Ornn being picked up. Are you an Ornn hater as well? I just
No,
saw your
dude.
smile there.
I love Ornn. I love
You love
Ornn.
Ornn. Ornn's one of those champions. And obviously our UTD top laner loves playing Ornn.
He does love playing Ornn.
So there's that. If we see the Ornn pickup, there we go. So nice, well-rounded team
Gwen makes a
comp.
lot of sense here.
And Gwen is your obvious answer, because it is a good answer into Ornn, % HP damage, and also you do need that AP threat.
Yeah, Gwen was something... Before jungler decided to make us go through a range of emotions, I was gonna say Gwen like seems like the very obvious R5 or no, yeah, sorry, R5 pickup here. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just realized
R5.
I
Yeah,
called
that's
B4, B5, R4, R5 for like 10 minutes. But yeah, Gwen seems like the pretty obvious like R5 like counter pickup just because there's no AP threats on the side of like after your first 4 picks. You pick Zed mid, you do have to have some AP damage somewhere, and then it's like a pretty good matchup into Ornn. I mean, there's not like a lot of like it's pretty weird to like sort of have like a preemptive pick into Gwen. I think picking Ornn here is fine. You do need a tank, so.
Yeah, I think overall, in terms of draft, I really do like the way that UTD has shaped their draft. I think there's very strong pick potential in the mid jungle duo. They can kind of get these leads and snowball ahead, but also they do have to be wary of the fact that OTSU, Ontario State University, has a lot of scaling, right? In terms of the Gwen, in terms of the Lulu, in terms of the Twitch, right? So I think UTD's game plan needs to be they need to get some early leads in the bot lane as soon as possible, kind of leave Ornn to do his thing.
Yep.
And then slowly transition into the mid late game after stacking some dragons.
Yeah, I think UTD does have a pretty streamlined game plan here. It's we're gonna bring our Ahri bot lane, we're gonna bring our Lee Sin early on, and then keep bringing him, and we're gonna get this MF lane ahead. We're gonna hit the blitz crank hooks. We're gonna start the party early on.
I agree. And so that is interesting. It does open up a binary like path for UTD, right? Because on one hand, what you could do is you could put all of your resources into this very broken champion, which is the Misfortune. But on the other hand, there is only one AP threat on the side of Ontario State University, and they could choose to put all their resources into shutting that Gwen down. Obviously, Ornn is an excellent enabler for UTD's jungler, so there is that option as well. It'll be interesting to see what they do end up picking up, and as we wait into the spectator, as we wait on the spectator delay.
Yeah, it'll be about 3 minutes. I mean, it's like a little longer than that because due to the nature of not everybody having, it's not the LCS, so not everybody has every champion unlocked. So you can't go straight into the tournament draft and draft from there. There's third-party websites that they'll draft on, and then you have to get into the lobby, and then you have to be like, is everybody ready? And you start the game, everybody picks their stuff, locks in, and then we have 3 minutes of spectator delay. So it's probably roughly more like 4 or 5 minutes, but we should hopefully be able to bring you a game. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, everyone. But in the meantime, let's talk a little bit about Ontario State University's win cons for this game, right? We talked about the dragon stacking for UTD. We talked about maybe shutting down the Gwen. What do you think Ontario State University is going to try to do in this game?
I think they with this Zed pick, it kind of feels like there's something that they're wanting to play into here, because you don't just pick Zed with you don't just pick Zed as like in isolation, really. I mean, it could be possible, but you don't pick Zed. This Zed pick feels like something that they are like bringing out of their pocket. They're like, we're gonna pick this into Ahri, and we're gonna try to mix up the game plan a little bit. Maybe throw some wrenches in some plans there. Maybe Zed gets ahead of Ahri, and then Zed can start roaming down bot lane and turning that in bot lane's favor.
Right, because once Twitch Lulu does get ahead, it's really, really hard to play from behind, even if you're playing like a champion like Misfortune, as in the current state that she is. So definitely a viable plan. Overall, how do you feel about Ontario State's draft as a whole, right?
I think Ontario State's draft feels a little bit strange to play. It doesn't really. It feels like you only have like Zed that you can be playing for early game. It feels like Twitch Lulu is like doesn't really win lane by itself, and then Zed, I'm not exactly sure on the matchup. It's not something I've really seen lately. And then Gwen has had a lot of early game power taken out of her kit. She is playing against Ornn, so maybe there's something you can start there. But I could easily see a situation where this somehow turns into 3 losing lanes. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Hopefully there's a good game here. But I think a lot of pressure's on Vi to get some things started this game.
Yeah, agreed, because in isolation, Zed will have a little bit of a hard time against this Ahri. Vi has to be kind of that enabler, but once Vi does start enabling the Zed, I think there could be like a true powerhouse just waiting to be unleashed there. So definitely something that we will have to consider. Now, are you a Zed connoisseur, perhaps?
No.
No? Okay.
I play jungle.
You play, but like, okay, but you could theoretically play Zed jungle.
I could theoretically play Zed jungle, but why would I pick Zed jungle when I could play Diana jungle?
Right, so that is also something else that I hate about League of Legends right now. Diana jungle with Nashor's Tooth and something.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about League of Legends is that, like, I don't know. This is not really this is not really related to the game, but you know, why pick something that is very hard to play that could have a lot of variance when you could just pick something very simple like Ornn or Tank Diana or Udyr, and you know, play like the same type of game, but you know, there's not the mechanical variance.
So you're saying pick Yumi every game?
Yeah, I'm saying that you should pick Yumi every game if you
Okay.
want to climb.
Guys, this is how you climb in solo queue. From the mouth of Chewett. 1, 2, 3. Pick Yumi.
Pick Yumi and find a very good duo partner, and you can win a lot of games.
Yeah, until you get to Masters, after which you have to snipe.
Mm-hmm.
Because Riot made that change like a year ago. Has it been a year already?
Yeah, it's at least a year. It could be 2 years, but at least a year.
That's...
I think season 10 it was still a thing, so maybe a year and a half.
Year and a half?
Because we're like halfway through season 12.
Oh, dude, we're like... Oh, you know, I saw this progress bar thing. You know how, like, Instagram accounts have, like, the progress bar thing where it's like, oh, 2022 is some % done. It hit 70 a few days ago, and it feels like 2022 is just flown by.
Yeah, 2022 summer I feel like did not really exist for me, but you know, we've come out of quarantine, we've started doing things again, you know, time's just starting to flow again.
Yeah. I get to meet great people like Chewett 1, 2, 3 here.
And I get to meet great people like Bones, and we get to make things like this happen, and this is a lot of fun. So
Yeah. And so hopefully we're heading into game release soon. So fingers crossed, everybody. Hopefully this game, there is no spectator bug, and we're able to bring that to you. And sit tight. This is your chance. Get your water, get your popcorn. I'm a big enthusiast of water. Hydration is key.
stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, guys. As we do get into this game. You know, we talked a little bit about last game, but I think some of the important things that we need to take away is that Fiora is supposed to have a good lane into Gnar, yes? But Fiora didn't have a skin.
True. Skin's better. Oh,
Okay,
it worked!
here we go. As we jump onto the Rift. All right, looks like Lulu is not getting out of base. Okay, never mind. There we go. As we follow so let's look at the summoners here. Twitch is running PTA. That's interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any level 1 shenanigans. UTD is just kind of 5 point on the map here. And, yeah, Twitch is going to go invis, does not find anybody. He's going to drop a ward in the pixel brush of the bottom bush.
And he's going to recall. So something interesting to note here, right? Blitzcrank has picked up the spellbook. He does not think that he gets value out of Aftershock, which is the rune that I see him most commonly run. I think it's a wise enough decision. Oh, he's posturing the mid lane. Oh, Zed doesn't see. The Blitzcrank hook comes out.
I like the idea, though.
I really do like the idea. And
Yeah.
the Ahri visual effects update seems to be showing its colors. As you see,
Ooh.
Foxfire Ahri. That's one of the older skins in the game, but
Yeah, I think it might be. It's either her first or it's second or third or first or second skin. Sorry.
Yeah, and widely considered by Ahri mains to be one of her best skins. So, and it looks like Riot has updated that, you know, given the people what they wanted. So there is that going for it.
Yeah.
Twitch and Lulu are positioning quite aggressively here in the lane.
Yeah.
As
They're gonna sweep the bush.
okay, Lulu gets.
Lulu's gonna
Lulu
get
is
pulled here.
hooked.
Gonna get chunked out a little bit by MF. Gonna go a little bit below half there. And that's not a great way to start the lane. It looks like Blitzcrank's going to get chunked out a little bit, but I don't know. I think that trade is definitely a little bit favored for the blue side of things here.
As well as I'll be right under means that Lulu is low HP. And I think being low HP benefits the side of UTD's bot lane much more, especially considering that they're low.
Yeah, I think Blitzcrank is looking to grab Lulu. Twitch. They don't really have any things built into their kit to outplay that. And you know, MF known as a pretty good lane bully. So if Blitzcrank gets a pull on this Lulu, it's very possible that Lulu will just go down. There is no heal for the side of Twitch. He has decided to take Ghost. And the other thing I did want to say is that both the junglers did start topside, which is not always a common thing to see in solo queue games.
Yeah. Usually you start on the bot side where bot lane can give you a pretty good leash, but it looks like that will not be happening this game. Okay, it looks like Twitch Lulu has retreated behind wave number 2 pretty safely. Gressel Grindset going to crash wave 3 into the tower, maybe take a recall here, get some economy rolling.
Yeah, This lane is looking pretty good for him so far. It does not look like he is going to get a recall. He's just going to just chill out there in the mid lane. Bot lane is pushed up here. Lee Sin will probably not be able to do anything. We'll see if Vi will want to walk down here, or she will just go back towards her wolves.
That's an interesting path. She went Red Raptor's Gromp, which is the fastest level 3 in the game, and then she decided to do blue because bot lane was not under any threat of, like, you know, dying.
Yeah.
Which I think was a pretty well.
She is here. It looks like he's going to flash over the wall here onto MF. Ignite's going to come down, ticking really low. Twitch is going to flash him. We'll see if he can finish off the kill. It looks like he is going to get first blood. Blitzcrank is going to flash away to the safety of Lee Sin. Lee Sin is going to pick up the Lulu. Twitch is trying to kite him out. He's going to flash
Ari's
on top
here.
of him. He is going to hit. Ari is here. Flash Charm will land, and it's going to be a 3-for-1 for UTD. Double kill going to Lee Sin, and 1 kill will be picked up by Ari.
Oh my god, that looks so good for Ontario Tech, and it just didn't end up panning out, right? You got the first blood onto the Twitch, which is a good thing, but then the Ari roam, freed up by her wave clear, meant that she was able to arrive to the fight, pick up that really crucial charm, and find the kills. Double kill for Yujung Hukuri Lee, single kill for Grussel Grindset, double buffs on the mid laner, and he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, it looked like I mean, it makes sense why they chase Blitzcrank into the bush, but it's really good for Lee Sin to be there on that timing because he was there right at the right time. They chase Blitzcrank into the bush. They don't see Lee Sin. Lee Sin is able to hop past the jungler and the AD and pick up the quick kill on Lulu, then flashes onto Twitch to pick him up as well. Blitzcrank ends up surviving the fight, and then Ari is there to guarantee the kill onto, I believe it was Vi in the very end, pick up a kill to get herself ahead in lane. So a great start for UTD, and it's going to be about a 400 or 500 gold lead.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what they kind of wanted to do when they picked up the Lee Sin, when they picked up the Ari, you know, kind of roam bot lane, see how it goes. Twitch is invisible, good decision to hide until he does show. Vi is on the top side of the map, she will probably clear wolves into Gromp and maybe gank bot another time, so we might see action here in the bot side another minute or two, so keep your eyes out for that. First dragon spawning now. 5-minute mark has been hit. Now, UTD does not have the bot lane prio that they initially might have wanted because Misfortune did indeed die. So they won't be able to pick up the Drake super early, but I don't think it matters too much.
Yeah, I think one thing we could point out here is that this gold lead is not as bad as it looks on terms of kill score. It is 3-1 because the top lane is about 15 CS ahead, which does make sense. Gwen definitely wins that matchup early on, and she is performing to industry standards up there.
Industry
so that's great for
standards, Gwen. Oh, Ari's caught out here.
In the middle of 3 people.
Double shuriken, charm onto the Lulu. It doesn't matter. Polymorph comes onto Ari, and there we go. Twitch gets the kill. Blitzcrank picks up Lulu. That's a 1-for-1. Yujung Hikari lead down onto Crawl. Crawl he finds a Q onto the Vi. He manages to pick her up. Now Zed is on the chase. The Blitzcrank Q is not up, so we will not be able to grab, but 2-for-1 for UTD.
Yeah, Grussel Grindset was really caught out there. He was in the middle of 3 people there, but he's able to land the charm onto Lulu and convert it into a pick, and then UTD is able to run them down and pick up another kill, which will lead to a teamfight win and the dragon, so it ended up being pretty good for them. Unfortunately, Twitch did pick up another kill, and MF still has none, so hopefully that lane doesn't get too out of hand. The only thing that probably went bad for UTD there is this Twitch is picked up both the kills.
Yeah, which is their hyper carry. Okay, Lee Sin is really low. Blitzcrank manages to hook Lulu, ignite onto where she dies. She tried to prevent the dragon, wasn't working out. But I think one silver lining here is when you look at the wave in bot lane, it's actually really favored for Misfortune, right? Because the wave was so big on the side of the red team, they weren't able to fully crash into the tower. So Twitch lost about 2 waves worth of gold right there.
Yeah, he had to back off. I think he might have taken Vi's Gromp. I don't know if I saw that correctly, but that is kind of funny if that did happen. But yeah, the Twitch, while getting 2 kills, it looks like MF is either ahead or ahead with Twitch now. But it looks like MF walked up too far here. Twitch is in the bush. Vi is also there. Should go down here. They're going to give it over to Twitch to give him 3 kills there.
Okay, Vi pops the ultimate. Ornn R comes out. He's in the thing, so Gwen cannot immune this. The knockup comes out. She is not dying. Level 7 hits on both of them. The ultis are burned for both the top laners.
Snip's going to come out and make sure she doesn't get low enough to die to Ornn there. Just a bit of a trade of stuff, but Ornn's able to get the wave into the tower and safely back.
The Blitzcrank. The Blitzcrank's here.
I don't think he knows that Zed's over the wall here. We'll see if he tries to round the corner. Lane is going to push underneath the tower. ZW is going to go away, but the Blitzcrank hook is going to miss under his tier 2.
That is
But they
slightly
do
unfortunate.
zone him off of a couple minions, so it is still pretty good. And Ari should also pick up a plate here.
Pick up the
Ooh.
plate. Ari the plate.
Ari did not pick up the plate.
Ari did not
Got
pick
Zed
up
a
the
little
plate.
lower. They should pick up the plate.
They
Zed,
should just, yeah.
Zed has to kind of back off this tower.
That's okay. Ari will pick it up on the next wave. Not too shabby. Now Blitzcrank is invading with his help. Oh, he picks up the
It's
Zed.
going to land. Zed will W over the wall onto Ari. Will he be able to go down? Oh my, survives for way longer than we thought. Now the blue team is under the tower. Lulu is here to help. The Lee Sin is going to go back underneath, take a couple of tower shots, but it looks like only Zeb will go down in the end.
Which is still good. Vi does have to use Flash to get out from underneath the Lee Sin. And it looks like so far, UGD is accruing almost a 2,000 goal lead. This is exactly what their game plan needed to be coming into this game, and they are executing it to the perfection. Blitzcrank with his Boots of Swiftness is moving all around the map and making sure his team
big
can
plays.
do...
Hooks away a wolf.
That is tilting. That is slightly tilting.
Twitch is invisible here. We'll see if they try anything. He's still not level 6. I don't think they should try to fight this.
Oh, ultimate
but-
comes out from Misfortune.
Oh my, it's going to be some big damage onto Lulu and Vi. Vi is going to ult in onto Lee Sin. Not going to quite take him out, but Zed is here to pick up a double kill. Potato Blaster's in big trouble here. He does have Flash to try to get over the wall. He's going to pick up Vi. He tries to get Twitch also, but he's going to flash out and trade 1 for 2 there.
Good response by the side of Ontario Tech Royale. You know, they managed to get back the kills that they lost early on. And looking at the goal score, it looks like the map is mostly even. The biggest disparity can be seen in the jungle. Obviously, Yujung Hukuri Lee is 1,000 gold ahead against Crawl Crawl Crawl. But, I mean, that's okay. The lanes are doing alright. Twitch is keeping up with pace with Misfortune. So it looks like we're in for a bit of a game here, Chewett.
Yeah, it looks like Ornn is able to cut down that CS lead he was suffering a little bit earlier from Gwen. The gold is basically even. Maybe Gwen is like 70, 80 gold. That's like a potion that should be completely fine. Ornn is fine with that. Twitch still has 3 kills. That has 2 kills. So there are the correct people picking up kills for the side of Ontario Tech. But UTD is ahead overall. They're ahead in... I'd say they're kind of ahead in tempo. They're ahead in Dragons. It looks like they're the ones making the plays first on the map. This Blitzcrank is everywhere on the map.
As he goes in, flash onto the Twitch, knocks up. Twitch is not able to respond in time. Stun onto him. Misfortunes onto the tower. They managed to pick up 1 for 1. Now Crawl onto Potato Blasted Mon. It doesn't look like the
No flash for
Misfortunes
MF. He
winning.
should go down here.
He finds it. It's the double kill for the jungler. Ornn ulti comes out, knocks Gwen up into
Lee
the
Sin's
wall.
here. Gwen should go down here. Not going to be able to trade the Ornn out. And Lee Sin will pick up his 4th kill of the game. And then also should pick up Rift Herald here.
That is a very accelerated Lee Sin.
Yeah.
He is ahead on farm on the Vi. He's ahead on items. He's ahead on tempo because he's going to pick up the Rift Herald here, get that empowered recall off. But I got to say, Blitzcrank's doing a lot to enable his team here. I'm really, really impressed by Bibarrel. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, it's Bibarel. I think it's just like the Pokemon. Yeah.
Oh, there's a Pokemon named Bibarel?
Yeah, it's the Beaver Pokemon from
It's a-
Gen 4.
I'm not a Pokemon player.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, okay. As we see Vi rotate into the top lane, does get spotted out by a ward. We'll just clear it out. And so overall, game is looking really, really good for UTD. Vi is sort of behind. She did pick up those 2 kills, which will boost her back into the game. But Lee Sin is obviously going to recoup that goal lead as he clears out his topside jungle and will pop the Rift Herald sometime. I'm thinking this might end up going either mid or bot lane. I think.
Ult's going to go down onto Twitch. They're trying to poke him out here. Will Blitzcrank be able to land the hook? Twitch is barely able to run away from that.
He had to use Ghost in order to get away from it, which is really crucial summoner spell, especially right before the dragon, which comes up in 14 seconds. So good play by the side of UTD's bot lane to, you know, get that Twitch out of commission. They see the Vi. This should be a pretty free dragon take.
I would like to mention that while Vi is opting for like a high activity playstyle, Lee Sin is able to farm while also having high activity, but Charm is going to land onto Zed, so will the Q. Going to be quickly taken down here. Vi is going to ult in. Will it be a bad decision? She's going to take a lot of damage here. Will the Lee Sin try to go Q in to secure it? Looks like not, but great pickup for the side of UTD there in the mid lane.
And they'll be able to crack the first turret here. They'll be able to get that kind of map open up. They'll be able to open up the map a lot more. Ari will be able to rotate down with Lee Sin to pick up that first dragon. Bot lane has prior right now, so they will also rotate with them. Now, the important thing is Twitch is picking up ground. He has ultimate, so there is a potential for a fight here. Barbell is looking. Vi is here. She's channeling.
I don't know if they see Twitch here.
They don't see Twitch. He is spraying and praying. It looks like he's going to pick up the kill onto the Blitzcrank. Really big pickup for the Twitch. But using that ult does mean that he does not have as much teamfight power moving forward into the dragon fight. So we'll see how that ends up going on.
Looks like blue team will still be able to pick up the dragon. Zed is going to spot them out here. We'll see if he tries to do anything. Dragon is at half health. It is contestable for red side. Zed is going to be walking into the pit, going to be charmed up. Ult is going on to Ahri, and it's going to pan up to the top lane here while Gwen gets solo killed. And back to the dragon fight. The Vi is going to smite it away, evening up the dragon count. Vi is going to chase after Lee Sin, chasing the shutdown, but MF is here to back him up. Barely going to escape. Both sides going to go under 100 HP.
Here's Blitzcrank with the hook. He doesn't manage to get anyone. So close. MF had to use the heal to save the Lee Sin. They're going to chase here. Lee Sin ward hop. Is he going to get the Q? He does find the Q.
He's going to land. Should kill Twitch here.
There we go. Good pickup by Yujong Hukurili on his Lee Sin. Going to clear out the enemy jungle. And overall, I think that was actually not as favorable for UTD as they would have liked it. I mean, they did lose the Mountain Dragon, and Mountain Dragon is one of those dragons that, like, even if you don't get the soul, like, just the stats are really, really nice to have.
Especially for Ornn, who builds an ungodly amount of tank stats.
You know, sometimes I just question, like, why Ornn? Like, why him? Why did he get the special treatment?
Because he didn't get that much play when the game first started. Vi is going to queue in. Ult's going to go down. Lee Sin cannot move and will get picked up by Lulu. Blitzcrank is also going to go down here. Ornn is not here to help him out. UTD is going to give away 2 kills, going a little over-aggressive in the red, or the top side of red side.
What were they doing? Ornn was on a reset. Lee Sin and Blitzcrank were half HP apiece. Were they looking for Krugs?
I think they just saw that Vi was low, and they saw red, and they were like, I think we can pick him up, but it...
That's
Ahri's going to ult after Zed, but Zed is just going to shadow all the way back onto the blue side of the map. We'll see if they continue to chase him. Ahri still has 1 ultimate, but it looks like we're just going to clear out a pink ward.
The ultimate might time out here before he manages to find Zed. Yeah, and he's just going to get out scot-free. Pretty easy peasies. Twitch is spotted on a ward. Will not get the throw up.
Ahri ult will be burned. Should not be too big of a cooldown. I doubt anything will happen before that.
Yeah, you might eat your words there,
Chewett. Charm is going to get hit. Does not need the...
Oh my god.
I'm going to eat my words again.
Yeah, you ate your words again. Imagine if Ahri had ult there.
Imagine, alright, it's fine. It happens, it happens.
This happens, you know.
See if they can find Vi in the bush here. Charm's going to land. It is warded. Wait. Oh, wait, did that... I hope that
wait, the
didn't
Lulu
just get
ultimate is
placed.
good. Vi is out. Oh my god, the Lulu ult in the shield saves Vi from certain death on basically 1 HP.
Wow.
Ornn ulti now comes out. Gwen is immune. Riot Games. And now the dive onto the tower. Ornn is tanking up. Airborne. Lee Sin finds the Q. Yoshiwi picks up the kill and the turret at the same time.
Yeah. After the poor blue team watches 2 crippled red team players hobble away from their clutches, they're going to pick up the tower and the Gwen. But before that happens, Lulu is going to have to flash away from the entire blue team that will spawn on the side of the red side stop side.
Misfortune ult goes down, and now she's gonna find Zed's gonna find the Blitzcrank. He's gonna try an ulti him, but Blitzcrank passive should be up. Flashes away, manages to live on 0 mana, 0 HP, but he still lives. Lee Sin goes back in with a Q. Vi is trying to fight him.
Looks like he's
Twitch is here, spray and pray. He is praying for a good team fight here. He's trying to find the hits. He's hitting everybody, but he manages to not be effective.
Gonna be flash kill here. It looks like it might be.
That was fun. That was fun to look at.
Okay.
That was fun to look at.
Yeah. It was a bit of a back and forth team fight. The spray and pray looked so good, but then Ornn got on top of him, and he was really only hitting Ornn, and he was not really doing too much damage to him, unfortunately. That is the unfortunate reality we live in.
I think.
Is that gonna try to look for something? Not gonna.
I think Zed's a bit mad here.
Oh yeah, Zed did use his flash there.
Well, I mean, okay. He used his flash, right? He used his shadow. He used his Q. He missed everything.
Yeah.
It's slightly unfortunate. Just like.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, he'll come back stronger the next time. It's very unfortunate when that happens. You hate to flash and miss your abilities, but, you know, can't say I haven't been there.
Can't say I haven't been there. True. Okay, as we look at the goal score, it's almost I can do math, right? 6,000 goal lead. Most of the goal being on this mid laner and this jungler. Bot lane is mostly even, but it looks like there's just a huge deficit.
Blind hook is going to land onto Lulu. I don't think there was a ward there.
That's impressive.
Oh, no, never mind.
Oh, there's
a pink ward. I couldn't see.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we look at the minimap.
Okay,
Yeah, okay, so as they rotate up towards the Rift Herald, they're going to pick it up second. Obviously, Riot did buff second Rift Herald in that few patches ago, gave over more local gold, so it does make sense for teams to pick it up, especially if they're snowballing as hard as UTD is right now. If our viewers could look at the mini-map, the mid lane has no towers.
Oh, yeah. It is 3 for 0 in mid lane towers in favor of blue side.
And I mean, there looks like a blue team has a lot of catching up to do, right? They need to find these shutdowns onto the Ornn, onto the Misfortune especially. And they need to give those over to Gwen or Twitch if possible, right? Because those are going to be your two main carries. At this point in the game, I don't think Zed will become too much of a carry for the side of Ontario Tech Royale, right? He's mainly just a pick bot to try and shut down the Misfortune, cancel her ultimate, you know, make her use flash or something. Main carries are going to be all grouping the top lane, maybe get the top lane tower. Good cross-map play. They realize the dragon's up, so they're going to take the top lane tower, pick up that objective bounty.
Yeah, it's not too big of a deal giving up her second drag. They're probably not going to win this fight. And they're just banking on Twitch and Gwen to scale in later on, and they picked up the second dragon, so they're delaying that sort of win condition for blue side.
Yeah, and so we look at and obviously the Cloud Dragon is picked up, which means we are going to be in a Cloud. So I was going to mention that, and then it's been non-stop action since then. Blue team picks up the Tier 2 tower in exchange for the Tier 1, which I think is more worth for the side of UT Dallas. Vi charging it up is going to charge into the enemy team, not accomplish anything. Silence comes out, Unstoppable comes out, Misfortune ult misses everything, Ornn ulti comes out, he misses the Ornn ulti, Kral has to use the Lulu ult in order to survive.
Charm's going to land on Vi while they pick him up. Everfrost is going to keep him CC'd. Yoshiwi is going to go on a killing spree.
Wow. I mean, Yoshiwi has been excellent on this Ornn. He did an excellent job in lane. Gwen is going to try here.
Oh, red team is going to try to fight underneath their inhibitor tower, but the Zeb will be made quick work of, but Ornn is going to go down. Blitzcrank is hobbling out of the fight. MF is alone, getting hit by Twitch, but Yujong Hooker is going to go back in, and on the left side of the fight, Twitch and MF traded each other while Lee Sin, I think, picked up the Gwen.
I think they might, in fact, get
this
the
might be
inhibitor
a
here.
game
I
over
think
here.
This actually could be game over. Vi is up and Lulu is up, but I mean, they're not going to be able to defend very well. It looks like red team is making the decision to back off, but all of this pressure means that when the inhibitor turret does fall, right? When the inhibitor does fall, right, you get these super minions. So the amount of super minions that are going to be pushing in onto the bot side of the map will create huge amounts of pressure for a really quick UTD Baron take, which would be really key to finishing off their game, because obviously it would empower those minions. You could just run it down mid, and
it's
that would
only
be totally fine. And it is only 20 minutes, right? So UTD is looking in really good shape to finish this off. 8,000 goal lead. And yeah, I mean, you have to be feeling really good if you're the side of UTD Dallas right now.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. They are in a prime position to set up for this Baron. They have so much pick potential to find anybody waiting at any brushes. They got Ari Charm, they got Blitzcrank Cook, we got Lee Sin, who's 7-3 on 2.5 items here.
Oh,
you do not want to be walking up to contest this Baron vision. They're gonna push out the mid lane and then set up their vision, and then probably try to convert onto this Baron take here.
And I mean, I would advise viewers at home to just look at the item differences between like the players, right? Yoshiwi has 3 completed items: Anathema's, Frozen Heart, and this Frostfire Gauntlet, right? Whereas Gwen has 1.5 items basically,
and almost a Nashor's Tooth.
And almost a Nashor's Tooth. Just reminded me of Diana for some reason. But the red UTD is taking the Baron. Vi is trying for a steal here, I think.
Getting low here. Lee Sin's going to go over the wall, try to kill Vi, just zoning, pretty sure. They really don't want to risk a steal here. Vi's going to get kicked away. Blue team will pick up the Baron buff.
That was really smart by Yujong Hukuri Lee. He is going to Warhop over the wall. He's going to kick the Vi away and then directly go back onto the Baron, so there's no chance of a steal. Vi engages into 5 people.
Yeah, that's not going to quite work out for Vi. She's going to get charmed up and killed up. And, you know, that might be all they need to just sort of... Oh, Charm's going to land onto a Twitch, but the Everfrost is going to get flashed away.
That was almost the game-ending play right there by Russell Grindset. And honestly, this new mid laner has looked really, really good coming into this team. And, I mean, he looks like he's filling up the shoes that the previous mid laner left quite easily. The UTD is just going to run down the base. Red team, first tower destroyed. Gwen is immune. She pops the ultimate. Ornn is now in the zone. He's tanking tower. He's getting pretty low. Gwen ultimate might be able to finish him off. Twitch is trying to kite back the charm, the silence, the knockback, every CC known in the game onto him.
Zed going to try to be killing somebody, but he is not going to be assassinating anybody. UTD is all still alive. Vi is going to try and kill at least Blitzcrank. Will succeed, but it is only Lulu standing, and that should be the game for UTD.
GG, well played. It was a stomp from start to finish. Game plan was there. Game plan was executed. seize the day, seize the opportunity. Well played by UTD, and that'll
Fountain
be
Tower
all
Dive will
she
not be
wrote.
successful, unfortunately.
And blue ZXs lost the game. Victory screen for the side of UTD, which brings us to today's score, which is a solid 2-0 for UT Dallas, coming into their first on live broadcast. Really well played by the boys here at home, and we're really proud of them. Any thoughts about our last game?
I thought the mid laner and the jungler played excellently. They were pairing up with Blitzcrank to make plays all over the map. They really utilized their early agency to start making plays. Vi tried to throw a wrench in their bot lane dominance, but they were able to snuff that out early, and they were able to pick up dragons and, come out on top in most every skirmish. They made the Zed pick look very useless in this game. They made good use of all their champion picks, and, it was just a good game start to finish for them.
Yeah, and I gotta say, for as new as this team is, right, they've been playing really well together. They seem to understand what decisions need to be made when, without, and communicate really well. So as new as this team is, I know they're gonna grow even further, and I'm excited to see where they're gonna go in the future. But with that being said, viewers, I think that it is time for our broadcast to end. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting our boys in orange and black. We do appreciate all of the support, and we hope to see you here for games that are coming up in the future.
Yeah, I would also just like to thank you if you came for the first game and then still stuck around to watch the second game. We thank you a lot for watching that. Very happy we were able to do that. Very unfortunate that didn't quite work out the first game, but to everybody that watched the second game, you're our favorite viewers as of right now. If you did not view the second game, you can still change that by viewing the next match that we stream. But other than that, I think we're going to throw it to an end of the broadcast, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming out. Go Comets, and signing off. My name is Bones.
My name is Chewett.
And thank you so much for being here. We'll see you again sometime.